Welcome everybody, it's Tellum, and in this video we are going to be looking at the new gameplay trailer for Revelations today. We're going to be breaking it down, and I'm going to be showing you guys things you probably missed inside this trailer. But if you guys have not watched a clean cut version of this, I'll have a link down in the description for you guys to go watch that and then come right back. But if you guys have already or you're coming right back, let's get right into this breakdown. At the start of it, we actually see the Apothicon word, and I believe this is also on the summoning key, and it translates to grow/birth, so I'm not too sure where that is. I think it's a summoning key. I think that's what this image that they give us right there. Also, we see the house. We do right after that see the pyramid statues, and they look like they're in an underground area. I'm not too sure if that's actually true. After that, we see Notch, and we also see Jug in the background, so it looks like Jug is going to be wherever Notched is, which is going to be pretty cool. But next, we actually see Drake, and we did see this in the sneak peek a couple of days ago. But one thing I want to point out in the background, I'll have the image on screen now. If you look at the background behind this keeper right here, or the keeper statue, we actually see it's all destroyed behind them. So we kind of expected this, but I just wanted to see exactly where it was cutting off and stuff. I didn't exactly know how it was exactly going to work, but now we do see this. But one other thing I want to point out is that this area where these keeper statues are, this is where you get the upgraded bows. So possibly we may be able to get the upgraded bows inside this map. That'd be really cool. I can't see another reason why they would actually bring this back unless we do something with the pyramid in the middle. That could be another thing. But anyways, we actually see something super interesting, and I'm not too sure what this is all about, because we see the beacon, or what people are calling the beacon, and we see it, and there's something weird about it compared to the sneak peek. The sneak peek, it was blue, but now it's red. So what are we going to be switching colors? Like, are we going to switch it from red to blue or blue to red, or are we going to have to keep it something? And is one good and one bad? I'm just not too sure, because we do know element 115 in this one is generally blue. Of course, I believe all the way back in Shironuma 115 was red, so maybe that has something to do with it. They're going to change the idea of 115. I'm just really not sure what this is actually happening. But anyways, we get another view of the area where our characters are going, and it's the same area really, but it's just between the areas that we were, because we were kind of looking in towards this area, but then we can actually see a different angle, and we do see there's only one way to enter this area, so wherever they came from. We also see our characters actually entering into this area under the beacon, which is really weird. I'm not too sure what we're going to be doing there, so we'll find out, of course, when we get it. But one other thing I want to point out is that I was just looking at these lightning things. I'll play in slow motion for you guys to actually see it, but these lightning bolts that are coming, or these red lightning bolts that are coming out of the beacon, it looks like they're hitting just these 4 areas, but there's nothing there. I'm not too sure if that's just for pretty, or is there actually going to be something there. It could be, could not be. I don't know. Tell me what you guys think about that down in the comments. Of course, there is that red glow around them, so maybe it is some designed areas for it. Maybe. I don't know. Of course, if I didn't mention already, we do see that altar in the middle. That's about it for there. Next, we actually see this Origins looking area. It does look a lot like Origins. Of course, we see our characters running through it. We also see at the very start of it the VMP, so we'll be able to buy that off the wall right there. And next, we actually see the Gobblegum machine. And the Gobblegum machine is probably the least important thing right here, but the more important thing is that we actually see a napalm zombie. This actually looks like the zombie from Shangri-La, the boss zombie from Shangri-La. So we do know Shangri-La is going to be in here, so is he going to return too? I don't know. I don't know how people feel about that many bosses. Of course, we'll get into the other bosses of this map later in this, but that'd be a good amount of bosses. One other thing I want to point out, or actually 2 other things, is that that zombie does look like the ones from Shadows V-Fall, so I'm not too sure how that's going to play into. I can't really tell what the 3rd zombie really looks like. It's kind of weird, but the last thing I want to point out is that if you look at the eyes right now, they're actually yellow, and that will change very soon, as we'll get into the next couple frames. And we see this, I'm pretty sure this is Mob of the Dead and Mob of the Dead area, which is so cool. We see these 2 different areas, and I'm not too sure where they exactly are, because we see multiple areas that look like Mob of the Dead, but I can't exactly tell where they are. The closest thing to the first one that they showed right here, the closest thing that I could think of was the entrance to the infirmary area, I guess, from just past, I guess, the buildable area and Electric Cherry. That's where it could possibly be, this place. It just doesn't look exactly like it to me. It could be changed up a bit, which would be really cool. I'd like to see what that would do. Of course, I wouldn't want them to change too much, because I still want to get that Mob of the Dead feel. But anyways, we do see this other one, and this one I thought was next to the cafeteria, above the cafeteria entrance. But then again, I looked all the way to the left side of the screen, and the area right there is much wide open instead of just the railing and the pathway that was there. That's not there. If you guys go back and play it, it's not there. There's just a wall right there and just a little walkway for you guys. So I'm not too sure what that's all about. It could be something I'm overthinking, or I just could be forgetting how the map looks. But go ahead and tell me what you guys think about that down in the comments. Now we get Origins looking background area, and I'm pretty sure that's Origins. I think that's the only place we ever seen impaled people on the side of it. I'm pretty sure it's Origins, but the more importantly is that we actually see zombies with different colored eyes. There's red-eyed zombies and blue and yellow-eyed zombies. So I'm not exactly too sure what's happening there. I don't know, maybe be something else. I just don't know what to think about that at this point, because we're still not even sure if the eye color actually tells us anything about who's controlling them, but maybe not. I don't know. But anyways, we actually see this area, and we've seen this area multiple times before, and you guys can see the church from the Rise of the Rocket, which is really interesting why it's there. We don't know why exactly there. We do see the beacon in the background, but it's still red, which is really weird. And actually there's something off about this image, and it has something to do with what we'll see later in this trailer, and I'll come back to it when we get there. It's going to be towards the end. So next we just get a close-up on the beacon, and nothing really. But then there's this frame that's only on frame for one frame, and that's it. It's just there for one frame. I want to show it to you guys, and myself, I can't really make what it is. I don't know what it is exactly. It looks like the boss zombie we'll see in a little bit. Could be something else. And we actually see something really cool, and it actually looks like Shangri-La. This is a staircase to go up in Shangri-La, I believe, where Pack-a-Punch is. And I don't believe it's going to be the same place Pack-a-Punch is, because we see Pack-a-Punch in quite a lot of different places inside this map. Well, no, we just see one, but it moves. Okay, I spoiled what I was going to say for at the bottom. But anyways, now we just see this area, Shangri-La. It looks pretty nice and all, but this next area I'm going to be showing you guys now, I can't really recognize it. It does look similar to Zetsubo no Shima with those green test tubes in the back, which they could be, well, they could not be, I should say. I could just be mixing them up, but it looks like the test tubes, so maybe it's just getting a little stuff from Zetsubo no Shima. Could be something else entirely. But one other thing I want to point out, you can actually see the KM44 on the wall back there. So if you guys want to know where the KM44 is, it's right there. But next we actually see this zombie as red eyes. Just want to point that out, and it's actually climbing up in this seemingly very high place, because if you look at behind it, there's the beacon. Last I checked, that beacon looked pretty high up in the air, but I'm not too sure where this could exactly be, because from all the angles we get inside this trailer, or anywhere that we've got so far, it doesn't look like there's somewhere that's actually that high up. But next we get back to Shangri-La, and this is super cool. Now I was just looking at this area, and you see that statue? It looks like we actually can see right under them. We can actually see a little flame glowing thing right in front of them, so that could be something, maybe. I don't know. Could be, could not be, I don't know. Anyways, we see the L car in the background, so this is generally right next to spawn, so it would make sense that this would be somewhere near spawn. So it probably is going to be near spawn, because normally it's just one door away from spawn. I can imagine this would be somewhere close, maybe not. I don't know. Tell me what you guys think, how Shangri-La would actually be close to the spawn, which we'll see later inside this, so it's going to be close. Next, I actually believe these to be some areas of Verrucht. Well, at least the last one is an area of Verrucht, and I'm not too sure. The first one is just zombies walking through an area. I'm at a loss for that one. Next one, maybe Verrucht, maybe not. Of course, we see Speed Cola in the background, so that's another thing we should point out. But lastly, we do know for sure this is Verrucht, because these writings on the walls are only found in Verrucht, and I believe nowhere else they can be found. I believe so. We get another Mob of the Dead area, which this one I for sure cannot pinpoint this location. The other ones I was maybe it could be there. I'm just not remembering properly. But this one, I'm like, what is this one? I just can't point it out. Of course, if I am like just being dumb or something, go and tell me down in the comments and tell me where these locations are. But from what I remember, I do not remember. But anyways, moving on to the next area, we actually see the spawn area, and we do know this is the spawn area because we see the RK5 in the background, and we'll see quick revive in a couple of seconds. But we just see a zombie walking through our spawn area. We see that the little Arnies are returning, and we see Nikolai using them, so that's pretty cool and all. But like you can see in the background, you can actually see a mystery box spawn location, and quick revive. So I believe this to be the actual area where spawn is. It would make sense because those two things, the RK5 and the quick revive, are mainly always at spawn. It is pretty interesting that they're bringing the little Arnie's instead of the monkey bombs. I would kind of prefer the monkey bombs since this is the last map and their characters are more relatable to the monkey bombs compared to the little Arnie's. This is going to be the first time they're seeing them, in fact. But anyways, that's all I had to say about that. We see another area that looks like Verruct, and I could not be, I'm not too sure. But anyways, the main thing that I know for sure is that we see Nikolai actually using the black market weapon, the Banshee, which it's a delay weapon, so I don't want to actually see that inside zombies. It's just, unless it's really powerful, like can actually take out like a lot of zombies, then I just don't see it as a good one. But we just see these zombies running through this area. I don't recognize it. If you guys do, go ahead and tell me down in the comments. But anyways, the next part is really cool. We actually see Kino Toten. Holy crap, Kino Toten. Oh my gosh, that's just so cool. But we actually see a couple things all the way to the left. We do see the teleporters, so that's really cool. We see this painting thing of Primus with the staffs, and I have no idea why that's there. That wasn't there in the original Kino, like all of you guys know. But what? I don't actually see the little turrets on top of the little place you talk about. I forget what those things are called. But there's also the mystery box spawn over there, spawn location, and we also see in the all the way more to the right, it's kind of glowing blue, so that could probably be another broken off area that we can't enter. So that's why I imagine it'd be, because normally that'd be an area to go inside Kino. Probably on the other side to have the same thing. I just imagine it's just going to be this theater area. I think that's all that's going to be in here. But right after this, we see one of the coolest things we've seen in a while. The Apothicon Servant is coming back. Holy crap, oh my gosh, that's just so cool. Oh, it's finally going to be upgradable. In Jason Blundell's words, the Apothicon Servant is not upgradable in Shadows of Evil. Oh my gosh. I'm not exactly sure how we're going to get it. I can't imagine we would have to build it again. I imagine that we'd get out of the mystery box, because I'm hoping we're still going to get the staffs and the bows inside this. So I don't want to get the bows and staffs out of the mystery box, but to get this out of the mystery box would be pretty cool. That's what I'd like to see. But also one other thing I want to point out is that while he's reloading the Apothicon Servant, you can see the HVK, I believe, in the background. It could be something else. I'm not too sure. But after this, we get this thing that looks like it's going to be our boss zombie of the map. That could be the case, could possibly not be the case, because we'll see a couple things in a second. Of course, he looks like an enemy, and we'll see this towards the end when we actually are shooting at him. But we also see this thing, and this I totally missed when I first saw it. So I was just looking at this, and we see this keeper go through. I said, oh, keeper, cool. Well, I guess maybe the keepers are going to be there to help us. That's going to be cool. But then I looked at it again, and there's something wrong with this keeper. Not only is he like his colors are much more tinted, I guess you would say, or just darker, and that's not the only thing. He's not only much more darker than the normal keepers, the red is also much brighter. But the other thing is, the main thing I should say, if you look on his chest, it's not the black sun anymore. It's the Apothicon on it. Why the heck is there a Apothicon written on a keeper and not any Apothicon? This Apothicon actually translates to cursed. So what's happening here? Are we not going to get any keeper help? That kind of sucks. But anyways, right after this, we actually see the Margwa, and the Margwa is returning, and the Margwa is a generally easy boss, so I like him back. But of course, we're going to have that other boss zombie that we saw a while ago. But a lot of people are speculating maybe the Margwa is actually going to be on your side in this map, which would be really cool, because we do see its mouth actually not yellow or purple like we saw inside Shadows of Evil, but we actually see it blue. So that's a cool thought. I'm not too sure if I see that as the actual case, because we do see our characters kind of shoot at it and maybe pop one in his head. But they could just be doing that to try to trick us, but maybe not. Tell me what you guys see, if you guys would like to see the Margwa actually being on our side, which would be pretty cool. But anyways, after we see that, we see our character shooting a little bit, but something I find very interesting. So while our character is shooting, we get an overview of them. We actually see all the way to the bottom left, we actually see a zombie completely ignore our characters. So this could be a couple things. It could just be something that when they were recording this, they didn't want to get down, so they just had the zombies ignore them, or something like that. But what I think is happening is that maybe there's something like a ritual thing that's happening, and the zombies are trying to attack it to stop it, which we see so often inside zombies. So it would make perfect sense why that would be happening here. So maybe it is, maybe it's not. It could be. That's what I think it is. But right after this, we actually see the boost shield is actually going to be the shield inside this map. I was kind of hoping for the dragon second shield because that shield was absolutely beast. But one thing before he actually uses it, we actually see something on the wall all the way to the left, and we'll come right back to this, but keep that in mind because it's pretty interesting. We also saw one back in Shangri-La, if you guys remember. Well, at least I think it was Shangri-La, it could be something else, but he just boosts slams and all that good stuff, just, I don't know, stuff. But anyways, we actually see that the Ragnarok DG4 could be our only special weapon inside this map, because what they could be changing them. Maybe you could have the Ragnarok DG4. I would love the Skull Non-Stop way. That's the best one that's ever existed. I think it's even better than Gauntlet, no matter what anybody says. But it'd be so cool if you could have different ones, or maybe character specifics. I wouldn't like that, actually. We don't want that. That'd be kind of dumb. But anyways, that looks like it's going to be it's probably going to end up being our only special weapon in the map, but I'm not a big fan of it. There's much more that are better than it, probably every single one except the Annihilator. But anyways, right as he's running towards the zombies to go do his slam, we actually get a better view of this thing on the wall. And what people are saying this is it's actually a sort of layout of the map. And as you guys can see, there in the middle is going to be the beacon, then it's going to be the church area, the house area, the Shangri-La area, and just something else. I'm not too sure exactly how there's going about, but that could possibly be the layout of the map, which would be pretty interesting. I guess they do that often. They always have the layout of the map kind of inside there. That's always been a thing inside the Black Ops 3, at least, except the Rise of the Rocket. They never had a layout, had the picture of the map inside that one. But anyways, we just see our characters fighting zombies for a while. They fight the boss zombie and all that good stuff. And were they actually killing these zombies? I'm not exactly sure. It could really be anywhere because there's too much stuff. I can't really tell anything that's coming, like happening. But anyways, right at the end, we see this giant thing. And of course, I talked about this image in my last video because I think they accidentally used it as a thumbnail and they were supposed to be for this one. But I'll talk about it again. And we see this giant thing come out of the sky, and it does its thing. But what's important is actually what's happening here. And as you guys can see, there's a the ICR-1, I believe, on the side of the wall. And we see on the wall, and we see an opening door that actually leads to the church. We see a gobblegum machine. But something's weird about this. There's two things, actually multiple things, three things I believe, that's off about this image. So earlier we got this same image of this area, but I'll show you guys it on screen right now. As you guys can see, something's different. Well, multiple things are different. The main one I want to point out right now is that there's actually no Pack Punch there. So Pack Punch actually isn't there. So I'm not too sure. Maybe Pack Punch is going to move around. I kind of spoiled that earlier, but anyways, looks like Pack Punch may be moving around. Of course, it is on the back of a truck, so maybe, I don't know, like, you just drive the truck. Oh, that'd be so weird, driving vehicles and zombies. But anyways, in the background again, we see that the beacon is blue now instead of red, which has been throughout all this trailer, which I find very weird. And one other thing is, you guys look where the beacon is, on that side of the big old monster thing, it's blue, but on the other side it's all red. So maybe we're going to be swapping between red and blue or something like that. Maybe we're trying to make it red or blue, one or the others, but I have no idea. But two other things I want to actually say before we actually finish this off. That giant thing, monster thing, whatever it is, I'm not too sure if it's going to interfere with the gameplay. Of course, it looks like it is to me because it just looks like he does something at the end of this. But the last thing I want to point out is if you guys look at that floating rock area on the left of him in the red area, it actually looks like there's a mystery box thing there, so it could be the mystery box area there, so it's going to be playable. That's the point I'm trying to get across. But anyways, that's about it for this video. Of course, we do see our characters shooting more zombies, but I don't care about that. But like I said, that's about it for this video. If you guys did enjoy this video, and actually if you found out something new, then go ahead and give it a thumbs up. And if you guys want to see for more Revelations stuff when it comes out, the Easter egg storyline, anything, tutorials like that, anything like that, so anything at all for Revelations, go ahead and subscribe, and it'll be up whenever Revelations comes out. But that's about it for this video, and I will catch you guys on my next video.